Hey, everybody, in just a few days, Trump is going to go meet Putin in Alaska. But I've got to tell you what's already unforgivable. Ukraine, the country that's, been invaded, bombed, and bled dry by Putin's war, hasn't even been invited. It's like calling a meeting to discuss a home invasion without inviting the homeowner. It's not diplomacy. That's actually capitulation before anybody even shakes hands. So the thing is, Trump talks a big game about being tough on Russia. He promised already that he was going to increase sanctions. He promised that he'd get results. But this isn't like the first time. We've seen this before. We already know the ending to it. Every time Trump stands next to Putin, that tough talk that he occasionally shows, it vanishes. And he goes from chest thumping to basically like this scared little boy who's just desperate for Putin's approval. Let's think back. It was 2018 Helsinki when Trump came out with Putin, publicly sided with him over America's own intelligence agencies. That wasn't embarrassing. It was actually dangerous. It was embarrassing too. And it told Putin pretty much everything he needed to know, that Trump can be worked. I mean, Putin's a former KGB guy. Trump can be flattered, and Trump will never actually stand up to him. So here's the thing. We don't need to kid ourselves. Putin's not going to Alaska because he wants a, buddy chat with Trump. He's coming to score a moral victory. It's a photo op. It's a chance to stand next to an American president as a war criminal and one that's willing to sideline Ukraine and talk about peace. So it makes Ukraine look like it's not even important. That's a dream scenario, by the way, for the Kremlin. That's exactly what Putin wants. And here's the real risk is Trump is desperate. We know this, to look like a deal maker and get some Nobel Peace Prize. So he could offer a very watered down ceasefire or some kind of an understanding that locks in Russia's stolen territory, or just basically take whatever Putin brings him. He'll call it ending the war. Putin will call it mission accomplished. Ukraine, they'll call it a betrayal. So look, let's just be as clear as possible. There's only really one deal worth signing, and that's where Russia stops the fighting and actually withdraws from Ukraine. And the only people that can make that decision is Ukraine, by the way. We can't have compromise that awards aggression. Everything else is just really surrender, just dressed up for the cameras. Doesn't matter what they call it, that's what it is. The reality here, though, that Putin doesn't want you to know is Russia is losing over 1,000 men a day. I mean, it's staggering. Their economy's basically teetering. Sanctions are cutting off vital parts of their economy. Oil revenues have shrunk, which is a significant part of the Russian economy. And the ruble's crumbling. Their military, I mean, you can't lose 1,000 people a day and have morale. The morale's in the gutter. This is the moment, everybody knows this, where you press harder when the morale is broken, when the economy is broken. This is the time to press harder. More sanctions, more military aid to Ukraine, more diplomatic isolation for Russia. Here's the thing, though, Trump has never been able to actually keep the boot on Putin's throat. He lets up. He pulls punches. He mistakes flattery for friendship. He thinks that he can just, be great buddies with Putin. And he thinks looking tough in a press release is the same as actually being tough. Every Ukrainian soldier in the trenches today is fighting for the same principles that Americans have fought and died for freedom, for sovereignty, and for the right to decide your own future. So if we abandon that fight, when we stand by while Putin redraws the borders at gunpoint, we're telling the world that America's word means nothing and our values mean nothing. Here's the kicker. If we cave here, it doesn't end in Ukraine. Dictators historically have never stopped when you give them what they want. They actually just take it as an invitation to take more. Look at the history books. Ask them how peace in our time worked out in 1938. So while this may not have happened yet, the stakes for this meeting couldn't be higher. The world's going to be watching to see if Donald Trump finally finds the backbone to stand up to Putin, or if he does what he always does, which is smile for the cameras, ramble, say some crazy stuff, make excuses, and give away the store. I'll be watching too. When this is over, I'll come back. We'll talk about our full reaction. I could probably record it right now. And we're going to talk about whether or not America just stood firm or whether we just handed Putin exactly what he came for. So be sure to check back.